Yes, the governors of the Southeast, they are meeting regularly on that. And indeed, we are working with federal agencies, including the security agencies in our state. And if you listen to the governor this morning, you will understand he gave the correct diagnosis of the origin of these problems and the fact that if we don't take necessary measures, these groups might metamorphose into some form of Boko Haram or ISIS supported group in the state. And we are determined to make sure that we root them out as quickly as possible. We are not going to cohabit in this state with bandits and terrorists. It's not going to happen.
All right, a very strong statement there, Commissioner. Talk to us. This sounds quite interesting. The Farmer-Heather Conflict Resolution Committee from the state, I think the CP, Commissioner of Police in the state, is the chairman, if I'm correct. So talk to us about it. Who are involved? How long? How it's worked? To try to settle.
I didn't get that.
The Herders Farmers Committee. I hear that there's a Herders Farmers Conflict Resolution Committee formed by the state governor. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it's been largely very successful. It was one of the innovations of Governor Okezie Ikpeazu because he's a man who wants to seek peace at all time, use peaceful means to solve all problems, and where that becomes impossible, do the needful. We were able to form that committee sometime in 2015 to stave off this crisis that will normally come from the engagement of farmers and herders. It is the government's own way of, being in the middle to settle as the referee when you have a conflict between one group and another, even in a football match. So what we do is, if reports come, the committee will look into it. Like you rightly pointed out, that committee is led at the state level by the State Commissioner of Police, and at the local government level by the relevant divisional police officers. And then the team will come together along with the political and religious, the economic leaders of the area to decide on what needs to be done to settle the conflict in terms of compensation, and also make recommendations on how to prevent future conflicts. It's worked for us. In my local government in Ohafia, we used to have multiple clashes before now, but today the situation is quite stable. And in other neighboring local governments, so the Conflict Resolution Committee worked for us in Abia State up to this moment. But what we are seeing right now is what we believe will not be. I mean, you can't bring an armed man into a negotiation or a discussion table, particularly when that armed man is bent on kidnapping and harming your people. So for that particular group, the group we call the criminal herdsmen, not the normal herdsmen moving their cattle to the point of sales. Those that are armed and those that are destroying, kidnapping people, and in some instances raping women, we will not cohabit with them in Abia State. The security agents have been primed and prepared. The governor, in response to the disruptions in the security architecture of our state, gave out 25 vehicles in December to security agencies in the state, rebuilt police stations that were destroyed, ensured that he constructed a brand new Zone 9 police headquarters for seamless coordination. And today we think that with the Homeland Security team also at work, that we have that security disrupted, actually up to 98% restored. And we will deploy fully. Indeed, we have deployed fully to solve the challenge that we have in Abia North.
Okay, it's impressive to hear what you're saying, but I just want to take you back to something the governor of Abia State said. And I'm reading from an article in a newspaper where he says that the federal government is not tackling the root cause of the problem. And he's recommending that Nigeria is not diagnosing the problem properly. The problems we face in this country are existential. So what can you say to that? What does he mean by existential? And what is the root cause of the problem?
Well, you see, there are certain things we've done in the past that brought us to where we are. As a nation, there were things we ignored before now that we should have tackled. And those things are coming together right now. And that is what is leading to the tension in the country. You need to solve the problem of inter-ethnic tension. Solving it, you need to eliminate the causative agents. For instance, if you see these young people, shouting and screaming about IPOB, more often than not, it is because they see nepotism in the system. They see that their voices are not being heard. The elders are not being heard. Because when they complain to the elders in the past, and we say to the center, please listen to us. Let us have federal character in operation in every form of it, including in terms of delivery of capital projects. I mean, I saw a report not long ago indicating that less than 30%, less than 25% of the capital projects done in the past 8 years came to the southeast, south area. And now, when you have the accumulation of the frustration of these young people who now feel that their voices can no longer be heard, they take matters into their own hands and begin to do certain things. See, there are fundamental flaws in our structure. The governor is talking about sitting down as a nation, looking at the structural challenges that we have as a country, correcting from the base. When you correct that structural challenge, you will not have certain problems. Those who are today being called criminal herdsmen may have been elements that escaped from the amnesty program in the north. They may have been elements that came into this country legally. Sometimes they're not even Nigerians. They might be from outside the country. Can we look at everything concerning the structure of this country and begin to make adjustments that will ensure that our children continue to live together in peace and harmony? Because if we keep peppering these things, and today we are jumping into one symptom that we have seen, instead of going to the root cause of the problem, we will live the rest of our lives solving small problems, putting out small fires, whereas the source of the fire remains there. And that's what the governor spoke about.
Thank you for clarifying
All right,
that.
let me just drop this if we have the time. Quickly, how are you dealing with the issue of stigmatization? You talked about criminal herdsmen and the people who are going about their duties normally. There is a very huge or big danger of trying to box everybody together and say they are just criminals.
It is unabian to stigmatize a whole people on the basis of the crimes committed by certain individuals. When you commit a crime, you are responsible. Now, when we talk about criminal herdsmen, we are talking about
Sorry,
criminal...
Commissioner, I'm going to have to butt in there. You won't have time to elaborate on that point, unfortunately. Thank you for giving us your time on Newsday.